Thank you for joining us again on this edition of Fireworks. Today, my guest is PDP chieftain and business mogul in Nigeria in the person of High Chief Raymond Dokpesi. Thank you for your time, sir.
Thank you.
Let's start from your experiences from about 2017, the end of 2017. It was 2 losses for you, if I'm correct. The first was your loss at the courts in your bid to taking over the party structure of APDA. And then your loss yet again in December in your bid to becoming national chairman of the PDP. How have you recovered and how have you been managing both?
Well, let me start by stating the fact that I was not in court to recover APDA. APDA is a party that was formed here in this office, funded from this office. And I invited the figures, the persons that I appointed to run the party before they stabbed me at the back and all sides of my body. So there was nothing for me to really struggle with them because I appointed them, I funded them. The receipt of the payments to INEC is paid from my account, it's still there. All the funding, everything that was required, I did on behalf of the People's Democratic Party as a plan B. And at the moment, Mr. Shitu was my coordinator during the Bamanga Tukuru campaign organization when I was DG in 1991 or thereabouts. He was in Abuja, therefore I thought I knew him.
But didn't you anticipate in drawing up the formation of the party? You said everything was done here. Didn't you anticipate that the rules said that there wouldn't be a chairman board of trustees until after a few years? Because that's one of the strengths of the arguments against you. No. You see, that is why I say they are visitors. I can tell you with due authority that that judgment which was read in court was procured for them by the office of the DSS, the Directorate of State Security. The director of operations there was the one that procured that judgment for Shitu and the rest of them in order to spite the People's Democratic Party, in order to spite my person. It is not because there is any right there. What that provision, please take it, go and check the Constitution very clearly. The Constitution clearly says that all the foundation members of the party shall be members of Board of Trustees. Additional members, for additional members to be members of Board of Trustees, they need to be in the party for a minimum of 5 years. And what was envisaged here, what we had was when people are decamping from one party to the other, today they negotiate and say they will be members of Board of Trustees of the new parties they are going to, leaving aside those that have been in the party all along. They are foundation members of the People's Democratic Party that are not members of Board of Trustees. And because somebody is decamping from ACN or decamping from one other political party, he is automatically given a member of Board of Trustees to the detriment of those that are there. So in order to cure that wound, that is why we said you will not be made a member of Board of Trustees until after a period of 5 years. But all foundation members, those that form the party are board members right from the word go. They are members of Board of Trustees. The Constitution, it is there, but I didn't participate in the legal arguments and so on that was there. But it's in the Constitution there, and the people just chose to look at what they wanted to look at. So you are saying that you had the backing of leaders of the party to establish APDA as an alternative in case you didn't, the McCarthy Caretaker Committee didn't secure victory at the court. It was Plan B.
It was Plan B.
You had the backing of McCarthy.
Sure.
You had the backing of Shekarau.
Sure.
You had the backing of Chief Olagunsoye Oyinlola, who was in the camp at the time?
No, Olagunsoye Oyinlola had already left the People's Democratic Party.
Okay.
You know, he campaigned in Osun State against the PDP. His exit from the PDP is one of the most painful to me personally. And because, not only because he's my personal friend, he's my mentor, he's my highly appreciated person, but the conditions, the things that facilitated his exit from the PDP were ones that I did not very much like, and I attempted to intervene as much as I could.
So you also had the backing of the governor of Rivers State, Nyesom Wike?
No, the governor of Rivers State did not accept the idea of having a plan B, but 96% of the members of the party accepted. Board of trustees, elders of the party, the decision makers were all fully in support.
But it's interesting because in the thick of this all, I recall that the spokesperson of the PDP at that time, Dayo Adeyeye, had released a statement dissociating the PDP from APDA.
Well, I mean, political statements, you read the text of what he said. He did not say that the party is unaware of it. No, he never said so. And he never said we are endorsing and supporting the actions and activities of the People's Democratic Party. I was not the one who decided that APDA would be the platform to run Anambra elections. I was not the one who said local government elections are going to be run in Lagos State on the platform of APDA. You saw it in the press just like I saw it, and so on. So if they didn't know about it, how come that that platform was mentioned and as the platform that was preferred platform for the People's Democratic members to really run on? But that is not the issue. The issue at that point in time is the fact that Amadou Sherif, being acknowledged by the Court of Appeal as the chairman of the People's Democratic Party, deprived the 99.999% of the authentic PDP members from contesting elections at the lower levels. And there needed to be platform. Some people who have in Delta State, they ran on the platform of, what is the name of the party now? Of a totally different party. They have a court party, was what they ran on. In Benue State, they were looking at running on SDP. And so the PDP family would have been scattered into various homes. So we said it is better for us to have a platform which is common and general to everybody to run upon.
So why should your people at the grassroots, who you want to lead, why should they take you seriously? Because at the point of preparation for the PDP convention in December, the implication of what you're saying is that you were one leg in APDA and one leg into PDP. So it explains it that at the end of the day, the turnout of the election showed that you weren't taken seriously.
I do not know whether at the end of the election I was not taken seriously. I do not want to go into details of what happened and what did not happen at the convention or the days before the convention, and the meetings and discussions that were held in my house here, that was held in the house of a governor of the People's Democratic, a delegation in the house of an elder of the party, Chief Tony Aneni, of the meetings that were held back here again with Governor Mwahi and all of them. So I do not know whether I was not taken seriously. But what is very important and what is very, very clear is that APDA was Plan B for the People's Democratic Party. And at the moment when the issue was resolved in court for the People's Democratic Party, the party leadership felt it was necessary to let go the APDA, and APDA was allowed to go.
But would you have been able to deliver even your state to the People's Democratic Party had you become chairman? Your state is in the hands of the All Progressives Congress. The party
was fully in the hands of the People's Democratic Party. Yes, was in the hands, and it was not because but it was not because that at the time Adam Soshomole became governor of People's Democratic Party that he was he benefited from some of the internal confusion and problems within the people, the personality clashes within the People's Democratic Party. That is why he became governor. And having become governor, he attempted to consolidate on it and so on. And some of us felt that, oh, whether we were PDP or we were not PDP, here is Adams Oshomole. He has performed during the first term reasonably well. He should be supported to go on for the second term. If this is the type of development, he worked very, very hard during his first term. I do not know about his second term, but he really worked very hard to the admiration of even his greatest opponents and so on. And I didn't see any reason why he shouldn't have had a second term based on the performance.
Let's leave personality clashes that he may have benefited from. Let's set that aside and look at the practicals of politics.
Let me leave you in
the APC floored you in Esako East local government.
The truth of the matter is that on a state, did you not hear of the gun running in Esako East local government area? Did you not hear of the ballot snatching that was going on? And you thought that that is how best to organize an election? That is how best to conduct a process?
APC will also accuse you of the same that transpired in Ekiti in 2014. Will accuse the PDP.
Well, my dear,
carrying out an election in the same manner.
See, in 2014 in Ekiti, there is nobody that will not bear testimony to the fact that it was a clear victory for Fayose in Ekiti, include the primaries and his main election, because he's associated with the people, he's there with the people. What Nigeria must develop and must aspire to have is free and fair, transparent.
If he had been so popular, would there have been any need for the state to be militarized?
Was the state militarized? Ekiti, was it militarized? No.
In Ekiti, more than 30,000 policemen were deployed in
Why are you telling me about Ekiti? You asked me about Edo State and you are telling me
100,000 policemen.
But here you are. But
I'm
we are
telling you that
no, we are talking
that accusation against the incumbent
no, I didn't raise. You are the one who raised. You raised the argument
about the PDP.
No, but you raised the argument, not me. Democracy has to be redefined in Nigeria. That is what I am telling you.
All right. We want to talk about reconciliation efforts now, but that will be after the break. You're watching Fireworks. I've been talking with an aspirant, a candidate rather, in the just concluded December 2017 PDP convention and a business mogul in Nigeria, owner of Africa Independent Television and Ray Power 101.5 FM and a network of other stations across the country. Stay with Fireworks. We'll be right back. Thank you for staying tuned to Fireworks. If you've been following our discourse in the last half hour or more, we have been reviewing the 2017 December PDP convention, and a lot of revelations have come out, not just about that, but also that granted victory to the Mohammed Shitu faction, well, no longer faction, now led chairman of the APDA. We're moving ahead now, returning to PDP issues to look at reconciliation efforts by party leaders since the conclusion of the convention. Now, how well, what are the fruits, rather, of efforts of reconciliation, brokered by leaders of your party?
Well, let me start the fact that the 8 contestants and later 9 contestants of the People's Democratic Party agreed even before the convention to a non-rancorous convention. We all agreed that we were going to support whoever emerged as the national chairman. There were other conditions which that document, the terms of agreement, outlined, as it were, to be the basis of collaboration. So it was very obvious to all 8 and eventually 9 of us that only one person can emerge as chairman. And whoever emerged, we all promised we were going to give our unconditional support. That unconditional support was later watered down to the fact that we shall give support. So whether it's unconditional, whether it is unflinching, whichever adjective you want to use, we agreed that we are going to support. And I think that that is the spirit with which all of us have approached the matter so far, and that is the way Amana I saw it. Yes, there were flaws in the convention. Yes, there were non-adherence to the terms of the agreement, but it's all part of the game. So all efforts and all energies must be geared towards ensuring that the People's Democratic Party win that presidency. Eschew every bitterness. It is not about me becoming chairman or me becoming the president. It is for the People's Democratic Party to win on behalf of the people of Nigeria, to wipe off their tears, to deal with the challenges that they are finding, for us to be able to create employment for the youth, for us to be able to better create the enabling environment for the growth and development.
16 years to do this.
What is 16 years in the life of a nation? You are coming from a military regime from which the learning curve was always there. And you are saying that we had 16 years. See, why don't you then say that we have had Nigeria since 1914? Under the democratic process on continuous basis and so on, you think it's a joke to really sustain it?
So
in that 16 years?
How many years do you think it will take a government to take Nigeria to the promised land?
I do not know how many years it will take Nigeria to the promised land. But as far as I'm concerned, we have all failed. We have all failed. We have all disappointed this nation. This is not the Nigeria I was looking forward to in 1960. That I hoped and prayed that it was going to be flowing with milk and honey. This was not the Nigeria at the time Chief Obasanjo brought me back to Nigeria that had a lot of hopes with all the efforts that Obasanjo, as military head of state, the foundations that they had laid, the developmental programs they had had.
You just talked,
this is not what I have found.
You just talked passionately about the need to entrench the values of democracy.
Correct.
You were commenting on the turnout of the election in your state, Edo State, in 2016. Yeah. But shouldn't charity begin at home? Because if you had serious reservations about the legitimacy of the election that was conducted in your own party, can that party now be trusted to entrench democracy in the country?
No. There are two different things. Well, don't mislead yourself and don't confuse yourself. See,
but we're talking about internal democracy.
There's no issue about internal democracy. I told you that we all signed a document, and I will get you a copy of that document for free of charge, which was signed by 8 of us that said we were ready to commit ourselves to the good and development of the country, that we are ready to accept whoever emerges as chairman. So it's not look, I didn't want to become chairman because I wanted to be chairman. I wanted to contribute to the attainment of some goals, some reform goals. Those goals were defeated on the floor of the convention. We said we wanted women to be given 35% affirmative action, and as provided for in Section 6(7) of the Constitution, that women should be given places in elective position. That was denied. It was voted by the same delegates that were in the convention. It was turned down by them. We said the youth must be given 25% of elective positions in the party. That was turned down. We said that a lot of the things that we said in the review and that one was turned down. Is that not democracy?
Why did they turn it down?
Why should I worry myself about why, if a given policy is meant to meet your own good and you say, I don't want it, why should I kill myself about it?
Hi, Chief, are you playing the ostrich?
What ostrich?
You, at that convention, you addressed pressmen and you said the election was a charade. I watched your campaign throughout Nigeria. A member of your campaign train raised an alarm saying this election is not for sale.
Yes. There is no doubt.
So you're refusing to face the issues now because you signed a document saying that you're committed to a rancorless, non-rancorous election.
Correct. That is very correct. I am not above Nigeria, and I am not above the People's Democratic Party. I'm telling you that it's the collective will. The moment I was at that convention ground and I saw the amendments that they were being made, we said, as a matter of principle, the majority of PDP members across the nation said that we shall only accept direct primaries. And on the floor of the convention on the 9th of December, people were asked to vote, and they were voting for the fact that, no, we don't want direct primaries. We shall vote for expanded this thing. From that point, I knew that I had lost the election, because that's not what I stand for. I stand for reform of the party. I stand for reorganization of the party. I stand for representation, repackaging of the party to the electorate. And once the people that are in charge, once the people who say they have influence over the delegates say they do not want it, so be it. So I sit down and I look.
Okay, now let's make progress in this conversation. Former President Olusegun Obasanjo has dismissed both the APC and the PDP in his latest letter as choosing between two evils, one evil and another evil. So what do you say to this?
Let me start off by saying that I fully agree in its entirety with the letter from President Olusegun Obasanjo. I share the sentiments that he shared there. His vision for the youth of this country, his vision for women of this country, his vision for job creation for the youth of this country, the industrialization of this country. Those are the values that Chief Obasanjo had, that he used in enticing some of us back to this country. I fully agree with him. You cannot be doing things the same way and you are not getting results, and you think that if you use bravado and anything that you are going to get better results. No. We better listen very carefully to Chief Olusegun Obasanjo. I agree with him in toto, in all that he postulated in that letter.
Even in his description of your party.
I agree with him. I agree with him that the PDP needs to be restructured, reorganized, and repositioned to be able to contest effectively for this election. We have, in the next couple of months, we are going to be coming out to choose presidential candidates. Is this still going to be a cabal that will determine who the presidential candidate will be? Is it a group of privileged people that will sit down in their air-conditioned rooms and will meet and determine who it's going to be? The earlier they opened it up, the better. The earlier they involve the youths and women in that whole process, the better. The earlier the whole of PDP members in the nook and crannies of this country are involved in that movement and see it as their personal responsibility to get their next neighbor to vote for the People's Democratic Party, the better for us. Otherwise, we would also witness the death of our party.
Do you have another plan B? Do you want to join former President Obasanjo's third force coalition?
I, Raymond Dokpesi, capital no. See, my view is that the time to put together a political party, an association for 2019 election is too short. But it's a movement, and that movement can direct its followers, its peoples, to cast their vote anywhere. That is where it is very dangerous. And please, for God's sake, don't ever take Chief Olusegun Obasanjo for granted on any matter. Because he's a deep person. He's highly experienced, highly knowledgeable about this country. Very courageous and fearless. Take his words very, very seriously.
So his coalition PDP is a formidable force ahead of 2019?
Definitely. It's a very, very formidable force. A very formidable force. I believe that Chief Uche Secondus, Prince Uche Secondus, and the leadership of the People's Democratic Party will not take it for granted. They will look for ways to cut and strike a deal with the members of that group.
Hi, Chief. It appears from our discourse that you have more confidence in the coalition rather than in your own party. But let's make progress. You've talked about...
You want to push that in, but coincidentally, that is not what I have said.
But well, from our discourse, that's what I'm hearing. But let's talk about what else shouldn't or should be taken seriously. The All Progressives Congress report on restructuring, which it has launched, and its recommendations. Let's take them one by one, or you look at it holistically. Does it give you confidence? Are you buoyed about the agenda, the promise of the All Progressives Congress to deliver the goods to Nigerians?
Let me state that it is just political gimmick. It is all to be able to gain votes, because they are hearing Nigerians loud and clear that unless there is restructuring.
Jonathan was to convene the national confab in 2014. You're a lie now. The PDP government was also accused of the same, of that confab being a diversionary tactic.
By whom?
Across the land.
No, which across the land?
Across
by
the
APC.
land.
No, stated not across the land. By APC.
By the civil society as well.
APC.
Not just by APC.
Okay, are the civil society, are they not condemning now this step by APC? They are clapping for it.
A governor in your party has commended the All Progressives Congress.
At the same time, another governor in my party has condemned it, and some other governors have commended it. I say it depends on where the interest of the state lies. But we must look at the interest of Nigeria as a nation.
Are you
not once, not twice?
Are you emotional in your opposition to the All Progressives Congress because of personal grievances?
Grievances? Which personal grievances?
Is your prosecution by the EFCC in any way resounding in this opposition?
Oh, by prosecution by the EFCC. I believe that the matter is almost running to an end now. Why don't we wait carefully and get to the end of it?
That's how it's been on Fireworks today. One thing is evident, and that's High Chief's individuality separate from his party. Another thing that resonates from this edition is his passionate conviction about the issues that he stands for. That's why I'm urging you to join me again, same time next week when I bring you another incisive edition of the program. On behalf of the crew, I am Bukola Samuel Wemimo. Bye for now. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.